Sunshine and 70s today, but soggy and stormy tomorrow. Tuesday is a weather impact alert day. Heavy rain and thunder will have an impact for the morning drive, and then severe storms possible tomorrow afternoon from 3 to 10 p.m., including damaging wind and the potential for some tornadoes. Remember to know your safety plan. Have several ways to get warnings. No issues out there this evening. Temperatures in the 70s will stay there through 8 o'clock with a mix of sun and clouds. Radar is clear right now. Out to our west, completely different story as we're tracking severe weather from southern Iowa back through portions of North Texas. This is where we find this threat of severe weather tonight. That shifts east and includes all of central Indiana during the day tomorrow. As I mentioned, no issues tonight. It'll be after midnight that the rain arrives. When you join us on Sunrise at 4 a.m., rain and thunder, heavy rain for that Tuesday morning drive.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. IMPD is coming off a very busy weekend. Officers were going from shooting to shooting. And since we've got the Pacers game and the Indy 500 Sunday, crime prevention advocates tonight are hoping this upcoming weekend won't be a repeat.
Certainly. Ashton Hackman explains that although violent crime for the year is down so far, advocates say their work far from over.
And they say their work at reducing violent crime, especially among Indy's youth, has been successful so far this year. This weekend's violence might not reflect that, but the numbers this year certainly do.
5 months down, and the number of homicides in Marion County so far this year are down. This weekend was the exception. From Friday to Sunday, IMPD officers responded to at least 11 different shootings. In all, 15 people reported shot, a 17-year-old killed at a block party on Dearborn Avenue. But the weekend spurt of violence doesn't match the data. Numbers by IMPD show there's been 47 criminal homicide investigations since the start of the year. That's less than the 66 reported at this time last year, a drop of nearly 30%.
It doesn't matter if it's down, it's still a life. A child has been gone, somebody lost a loved one. So, yeah, it can be about numbers. They can say the numbers are going down, but for me, it's deeper than the numbers.
Robert Booker lives and works on the east side, where many of the shootings happened this weekend. He's one of the many people hoping to keep Indy's youth out of trouble.
Not only do I care, man, you have a lot of people out here in our community that care about you as well, man. And so doing that, man, just feeding them, doing everyday things, man, that pretty much impact not only our community lives, but their lives as well.
With race fans and Pacers fans set to collide in Indy this weekend, the push to keep the peace is more needed now than ever, as thousands are expected to be in town to celebrate the month of May.
Patrolling more, get into areas that y'all know the most vulnerable areas at, whether that's the Riverside, where these are the parks, or get more community leaders out here. You know, just get out in your community.
And IMPD is joined on the call for peace and accountability. They're asking parents to know where your kids are at this weekend. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Almost 25 years after Benjamin Ritchie killed Beech Grove police officer Bill Toney, the state is now set to execute Ritchie before sunrise tomorrow.
Ritchie will die by lethal injection. Rich Nye has been following this case for years now, well before Indiana resumed executions. That was just last year. We had a stay for about 15 years. So what's going to be happening tonight as we move forward?
So Indiana actually has an execution team, and that team at the state prison in Michigan City has been practicing and training every week since the May 20th execution date was set by the Indiana Supreme Court. Benjamin Ritchie shot and killed Officer Bill Toney on September 29, 2000 during a foot chase in a Beech Grove neighborhood. Those who have waited 25 years for this sentence to be executed are not celebrating tonight, but they say the execution sends a message of justice for officers killed in the line of duty.
While it's saying that individual life is of utmost importance, it's also acknowledging the aggravating circumstances that when that attack occurred on that officer, it was not only on the officer, but also upon the community in which they were serving, but also the law in which they were upholding. And that has to mean something.
We do oppose capital punishment in all cases, but the killing of a man who suffers from brain damage 25 years after the crime committed, it shows why the death penalty is particularly unnecessary and in this case cruel.
Benjamin Ritchie's lawyers argued for clemency in the past few weeks, saying that his brain damage from fetal alcohol syndrome disorder was never fully presented in court. Ritchie will have some witnesses to the execution tonight, At our last conversation, Officer Tony's widow told me that she was planning to be at the execution tonight, but 13 News has decided not to go to Michigan City because at this time we're not expecting to hear from anyone either before or after the execution.
Yes, and requests to have cameras in there were denied.
Or to have a media representative in there were denied.
Right. All right, Rich, thank you so much.